Hello, this is Jim Ave again. I'm talking to you about the issue debate presentation that you can see in the syllabus. So if you have that in front of you, we'll talk about our issue debate presentation and then the facilitation of it and also the reflection part of this assignment. So what you're going to do is you get to pick a topic that is interesting to you. It's a kinesiology topic, something that goes across the majority of areas in kinesiology. Remember, the way I'm describing kinesiology, I'm talking about physical education, coaching, sports medicine, athletic training, athletics, sport administration, those areas within our umbrella of kinesiology. You want to pick something that's controversial. And I have a listing of some controversial topics. You don't have to pick any of those. You can. I have that in the class for you, so you can take a look at those. But you can pick other topics that you find interesting, that you want to learn more about. The critical thing is that the topic has to have both a pro and con side, or a yes or no side. There has to be two sides of the debate. And it has to be fairly debatable topic. Now in the class I have a video from one of my favorite TV shows called Pardon the Interruption, where they are debating a topic. And sometimes they take, one person will take one side and the other side. Sometimes they're on the same side. So when I saw that TV show for the first time, I said, yeah, I want to do something like this in our class. And that's kind of where I got the idea with these issue debates. What is a topic that is controversial, that is something that we can have strong pro and con sides? And I'll use the example of should we pay college student athletes? You know, that's, people have really strong viewpoints on both sides of that topic. And I'm sure somebody in this class will pick that topic as normally as a topic that is picked. Okay. The only thing that's not allowed to be used are steroids, ergogenic aids, which includes HGH, or Title IX. There is no pro or con side. There is no, yes, we should use steroids and ergogenic aids, or there is no con side at Title IX, meaning that no, we should get rid of Title IX. So those are off the topic list. And the other thing is, once a student picks the topic, nobody else can pick that same topic. So in the class, you'll see a forum where you'll post your topic. I will read your topic, and if you don't hear anything from me, that means you've been approved on that topic. But if I respond back, I may have a question about, is this really a topic that has a pro or con side to it? So if you don't hear anything, I've approved it. Once somebody has picked that topic, they get that topic. So you have to read through the topic list in the forum. You might want to put in the, what's that called? The header, or whatever the title of your forum post, what your topic is, so students don't have to look through every single topic to find out if that topic's been picked. So once that topic has been picked, it's off the topic list. So you have to pick something else. So I'm giving you the opportunity or the choice to either write a paper or do some kind of audio presentation like I'm doing here. Doesn't matter what style you use, paper or audio presentation, you still have to have all the same elements in the presentation. For those who will do the audio presentation, you should still write a script that you'll turn in to me in addition to your actual file or link to whatever you're going to do. That whatever you turn in does not have to follow APA and other formatting structures. I'm not going to grade the paper. It's just make sure I can follow what you're trying to tell me. So if you're going to do the audio presentation, there's some ideals that you can use, and I have some links to these different things in our class. There's probably more now. I've probably added some more type of web-based tools that you can use. You can use the old audio PowerPoint, or what I'm using is Keynote, which is Mac's version of PowerPoint, and I've turned it into a movie that I've uploaded to YouTube, and you can do that. And there's some other ones, Prezi, Screenomatic, and some of these other tools you feel free to use. As I said earlier, regardless if you write a paper or you do some kind of audio presentation, you have to have the following elements in your presentation. I'm just going to use the term presentation to refer to either a paper or an audio presentation from here on out, okay? So we're all on the same page on that. So the first thing you're going to do is have about a paragraph where you provide a interesting scenario of your particular topic. You're going to make something up. You're just going to make up a scenario that gives us a good picture of what is going on, that describes that particular issue. I would put it, I would, put it in real life. Try to make it as real life as possible. This is not, you're not going to cite any sources for this. You're just making this scenario up. It's one paragraph where you're introducing us to the topic. What is the topic? One of those type of things. Then the next part, or your next part of your paper or your presentation, where you're going to summarize the issue. You're going to give us a big idea of what this topic is about. You're going to basically teach us about this particular issue. So you're going to summarize the issue for us. Why is it even a topic? Why is it even an issue that we need to worry about? And I want you to also explain why is it relative to most of the areas within kinesiology. It may not hit every single area of kinesiology, but it needs to be important for the majority of the issue areas within kinesiology. You need to explain why it is involved in all these different areas of kinesiology that I've talked about, and it's in your syllabus. So that should be about 2 to 3 pages. And again, if you're doing an audio presentation, your length of the paper, your presentation should be 2 to 3 pages when you're writing, because you should have a script when you're doing any kind of presentation. The next part is this is the area that students for some reason don't understand when I've done this before, is that what I want you to do is I want you to give me both the pro side of the issue and the con side. And that I just want about, where is it? A half to 1 page per side. So you're going to give me about a half page to a page on the pro side of the argument, and a half a page to a page on a con side of the argument. Then I want you to take one side, the side that you are, and take that position. I am for paying student athletes, and this is why I'm for paying student athletes. And that should be about 2 pages there. Again, you need to use research and journal articles. We've talked about in some of our classes about using quality references to support your stance. So, okay, again, this is the area that students for some reason just don't get clear in their head. You're going to provide half page on the pro side, half page to the con side, and the majority of the next 2 pages is what side of the issue are you on and why are you on that, and you need to defend why we should do the for side or against side, the pro or con side. I don't care what side you take. It doesn't matter to me, but you got to pick one and defend why you should be on that side. Then the next part of our presentation is called implications. This is 3 to 4 pages of written text. Now, what I want you to do in this part of the paper, let's say we say that you decide that your side is that you want to pay student college athletes. That's the side that you go on. I'm using this as an example. So what would that, if we think through all the possible things that could happen if we start paying student athletes, what would be the results of that? What would that possibly look like if we went down that path? If there is some research, if we need our research to also support that, what would it look like if we went down that path? In some areas, we've gone down that path, and what has been the results of that? It doesn't matter. Again, I don't care what side you pick, but that's what I mean by implications. If we actually do that side of the issue, what does that look like? That's called implications. What are some possible implications if we actually go down that path, whatever path that is? Another part of the implications, if we decide to do whatever that side of the issue is, again, I'm going to use pay student athletes, how does that affect the other areas of kinesiology? How does it affect a coach? How will it affect an athletic trainer? How will it affect an athletic director or other sports administration people or PE teachers? Again, it may not apply to every single area in kinesiology, but I want the majority of the areas to be thought about. Again, we need to use research to support our thoughts here. And our last part is to include a summary or conclusion, wrap it all up. One paragraph, summarize what you've talked about in this presentation. So this paper should be, how many pages? I don't remember how many pages it should be. You can read, you can add everything up there. Format here should have a minimum of 10 references. Now, your 10 references should be primary references or secondary references. Primary reference is the original research study. A secondary source are textbooks or journal articles that are summarizing all the research, which are really good articles. Those type of articles I like to read and give me a big idea what those things are. So you need those type of references. You can use ESPN and Sports Illustrated, but that's not part of your 10. Those are just give you background information on some things. Again, those are can be used, but that's not part of the 10. So it looks like your paper should be 10 to 13 pages. And if you're doing the presentation audio thing, it should be 30 to 40 minutes. Remember, when we upload files, we have a 2 gigabyte file limit. I really suggest that when you upload, if you're going to do a bigger file, audio file of some sort, that you be hardwired into the internet on your computer, not do it through Wi-Fi, because it will go time out when you're doing that. Some things you might want to do is, if you can, upload it to YouTube or something like that, and then put a link in our class. Do that. And how will I assess you? I will assess you on these points here. I'm not going to read them all. I have a rubric in our class that you should go ahead and download and look at and review the things I'm looking at. One thing I will discuss about the assessment is on the presentations, audio type presentations, is if you do PowerPoint or one of these type of presentations, do not, and I'm going to say it again, do not have every single word that you are saying on the slide. That is a poor way to do a presentation. Have bullet points with a few words, and then you discuss what you're trying to say through those points. Okay, don't have every single word on the presentation. Okay. I also expect you to follow all the different other assignment formatting type things I forgot to say earlier. You know, typical type things with papers, 1-inch margins, all those type of things that I have in a syllabus. So you can look at that on your own. Okay, the next part is, like I said, you're going to be attaching your presentation in a form during your assigned week. Again, that material is in our course when you are assigned to do your presentation. And if you have like a YouTube type thing and you link it, just put the link in the form. And then I also want you to post 2 to 4 open-ended questions. An open-ended question is a question that cannot be answered with just a yes or a no. So it has to elicit a response that requires the person to say more than yes, I agree with that, no, I don't agree with that. Okay. Other part is that you, the facilitator, whoever's assigned that week, there's going to be multiple students assigned each week. It's your responsibility after you post your presentation and students respond back to your questions and pick a side of the topic. You must go back and read what they say and respond back to them. So it's your responsibility to keep the discussion going during the assigned time of the discussion. Most of the discussions or the presentations will go until Thursday or Friday of that week. So that's your responsibility to keep that thread going. That's where your 50 points is coming from. Your 50 points is coming from attaching it, posting your questions, and responding back to other students. Then other students in the class will be required to do something during that reaction or during the weeks that we're doing these issue debates. So each student will have a certain number of issue debates that they have to respond to, and I have that in the syllabus. So you have to make sure that you look at the syllabus, and in a class, I've put it in a class in a forum, how many people you have to respond to. So your responsibility is to listen and to read the presentation first. Then you need to pick one side of the topic. Like, again, I'm going to use the we should pay or shouldn't pay student athletes. And you have to pick either I'm for it or I'm against it. And then you have to defend what side of the issue that you're on, supporting it with references. And then you also have to answer the 2 to 4 posted questions that the student posted. And then also you have to continue that discussion. When the facilitator responds back to you, you have to go back and read. So it's your responsibility to do that. And our last part of our presentation, assignments, our issue debate presentation assignment, is a reflection. These are due at the end of the class, the last week of our class. And you can, if you're earlier in the class, you can actually write your paper early. But you're going to write a paper reflecting on what happened during your issue debate. So it's just your issue debate. You're not reflecting on everybody's and all the ones that you responded to. Just your issue debate. So after your presentation is done, did you change your opinion? Let's say you were for paying student athletes to play sports at college, but for some reason you changed your mind because of the debate that happened. More than likely, most students don't change their mind. But let's say, did you change your mind? You're going to explain to me why or why not. And so, explain to me why or why not. The other thing I want you to discuss is, what did you learn through this process? I like to say this: what is your takeaway? What's the so what? Hopefully you pick something that you're interested in. You will learn quite a bit about the topic and how can this impact you as a professional, whatever you do as a profession. How can this affect you as a professional or even in your personal life? Explain that to me. And then the other thing, the last thing about this is how has completing this assignment, this issue debate assignment, caused you to meet any of the program student learning outcomes, that's the PSLOs, that's in the syllabus. So what you'll need to do is go to the syllabus, look at the 4 PSLOs, the Program Student Learning Outcomes, and explain and look at them. Say, yeah, I think this assignment caused me to satisfy PSLO number 2, for example. I don't know if it does or doesn't. You have to make that decision. And then you have to write in your paper. First, you have to explain what that PSLO means, because how can you say that you satisfied it if you don't explain that what you understand what the PSLO means, and then you have to explain how you have satisfied that PSLO by completing this assignment. As with all our assignments, make sure that you follow the formatting requirements that are listed in the syllabus, because you know I can be kind of strict with formatting. If you have any questions about what to do in this assignment, as with any assignment in my classes, start with the Q&A form, and I'll be happy to help you in any way I possibly can. I really hope that you pick some topics that are really interesting for all of us. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy this class, is because all the various topics that get discussed during this class. Again, it's okay to disagree with other people. You don't have to agree with everybody, but be respectful when you have these discussions through the weeks in our class.